Fine, good afternoon to you all students. Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Students, are you studying daily portion? So students, are you studying daily portion? So please study daily portion, okay students? So don't waste time, okay? So welcome to our today's online class students. So now we are studying about chapter 10, isn't it? So now we are studying about which chapter? Chapter 10. So what's the title of our chapter? Classes, Python classes and objects. Okay. So in this chapter we have studied about classes as well as object. Isn't it? So what do you mean by class? Classes are basic building blocks of the program. Isn't it? So then object. So in the class, so object is the most important thing. Isn't it? So you have studied about in the last class. You have studied what are things you have studied in the last class? Last class you have studied about classes, objects and the way you should create a class and way you should create object, isn't it? So and also one program I have taught. So what program I have taught? So sum of 3 marks as well as you are going to find the average of the 3 marks, isn't it? So today we are going to study about a program to check whether the given number is odd or even. Okay, so you are going to check whether the given number is odd or even. Okay, so in the question itself they are given using the class you are going to check. Okay, so using the class you are going to check whether the given number is odd or even. Okay, so listen, first you should create a class. First you should create a class. Okay, so what's the general syntax for creation of class? A class starts with the keyword class. Class starts with the keyword class. So then you should give the class name, isn't it? So what's the class name here? What's the class name? Odd or even. The class name is odd or even. Okay. Then, so inside the class you have created one variable called even. Okay. So inside the class you have created one variable called even. Okay. So inside this program first you have defined a class, isn't it? So inside the class you have defined one variable. Okay, inside the class you have defined one variable. So what's the use of this variable? A variable defined inside the class we are calling as which variable? Class variable, isn't it? A variable defined inside the class we are calling as which variable? Class variable. Okay, then what's the program you used to check a given number is odd or even? For that you are going to write a function. Okay, you are going to write a function. So what's the general format for writing function? Function always starts with the keyword def. So def, then function name, isn't it? So what's the function name? Check. So inside the function you can give number of arguments. Any number of arguments you can give. So without arguments you can able as per your wish you can give with arguments or without arguments. Okay, so if you are not giving any arguments means also it will take first argument as a self. Understand? If you are not taking any arguments also it will take the first argument as a self. Okay, so but in this program you have given an argument called num. What argument you are giving? Num. Num is the argument. Okay, but if you are giving one argument means also first argument automatically it will take as a self. Understand? So then next you have written the function. So inside the function you are giving the condition. What condition you are giving? If the condition is the given number, what variable you are giving? Num. So in this variable only you are going to pass the number. So you are going to check this number is divided by 2. Understand? You are going to check the given number is divided by 2. Okay. So if the particular number is divided by 2 as well as if you get the remainder value as a 0. Okay, particular number is divided by 2 and getting the remainder value 0 means what you should print? The given number is a even number. Understand? You are giving one number, that number is divided by 2 and you are getting the remainder as 0 means what output you should print? Print the number, given number is a even number. Understand? Else, if the number is not even number means what number you should, what output you need to display? Given number is a odd number, that's the other possibility. Isn't it? So if the number is divided by 2 as well as getting the remainder 0 means the given number is a even number, else the given number is an odd number. Understand? Next, so you have defined the class, then you have defined the function. So what's the next step? You should call the function. So if you should call the function means before that what you need to do? You should create an object for the class. So what's the general syntax for creation of object? General syntax for creation of object. So you should create objects with object name equal to class name of. Object name equal to class name of. So what's the object name here? So what's the object name here? N. Okay, what's the object name here? N. So n equal to odd or even. Okay, n equal to, so what's the class name? Odd or even. Okay, n equal to class name is odd or even. Okay, then so you have created the object. What's the next step? What's the next step? You should call this variable inside the function. You should call the function, isn't it? For that, so you have given, so till now you are not inputting any numbers. You are not giving any input values, isn't it? So this object creation is very, very important, just like a main of function in C++. So in main of function is very important in C++ program. So all the things, what are the things you have written? Variable declaration, everything function, you should call in main of function, isn't it? Likewise, so this after the object creation, with this object you should call functions. Okay, for that first you need to give the input numbers. So input, for giving input, first I am going to create a variable called x. Okay, I am going to create a variable called x. Okay, so x equal to, you are entering the value. So if you are entering the value means that's the data type in. So which function you should use? Input of function. Input, enter a value. Understand? So enter a value. So here you are enter the value. So what's the meaning? Where now the value is in where? Which variable? X. So now automatically, so you are calling this, listen carefully, with this object you are calling the function. So n dot check off. What's the function name? N. Sorry, what's the function name? Check. So with this object you are calling n dot, what's the function name? Check. So next you are going to assign in the variable x for the num. Understand? Because you are entering value stored in the variable x, isn't it? So you are passing the value x to the variable num. Understand? So now you run the program. What output you will get? First, the output you will get is enter a value. So in C++ program which will execute first? Main of function. Likewise, in this program which will execute at means in the after the object creation. So what thing you are given that will first execute. So what output you will get? Enter a value. So you are entering the value 4. So 4 means automatically it will go inside the function. Okay, so the value 4 divided by 2, the answer you are getting is 0. So what output you will get? The number, what number you are entering? 4 is a even number. So see the next output. Next you are entering the value as a 5. Okay, so next the value as a 5, the number is not divided by 2. So what output you will get? Given number is odd number. Understand? Same program you have studied already in the 4th chapter using if condition or while condition. So this is very, very important program. In the question paper sometimes they will ask the program to check given number is odd or even using class means you should write this program. Then using while loop or for loop means you should write that 4th chapter program. Understand? So next topic is constructor and destructor. Okay, what's the next topic? Constructor and destructor. So this constructor and destructor also already you have studied in C++ program. Have you studied or not constructor and destructors? Yes. So what do you mean by constructor? Constructor is a special function. Okay, constructor is a special function. It is similar to a normal function. Okay, how the normal function will work, the same way only constructor will also work. Okay, but what's the thing means, whenever you have created a object, so whenever you have created a object for the class, immediately the constructor will execute. That's the thing. Understand? Whenever you are creating a class, whenever you are creating an object for the class, immediately the constructor will execute. Understand? So what's the constructor? Very, very important question. Sometimes they will ask for 2 marks, sometimes they will ask for 3 marks. Understand? So constructor is a special function. So when it will get executed, it will execute automatically if you are created an object for the class. Okay, so in constructor, how you can identify constructor in the program means a constructor is a special function called init. Okay, a constructor, what's a special function? A special function called init is there. This init will act as a constructor. Okay, so in a Python, a special function will be there. What's the special function? Init. Okay, this init will act as a constructor. Okay, so what's the important thing means this init will start and begins and ends with double underscore. Understand, the init will begins and ends with double underscore. Understand? So that if in the program, if you have find out a word init means, you should know that is a constructor. And also the init always starts with, begins with double underscore as well as ends with double underscore. Okay. So the working of a constructor function is similar to the normal function, but what's the thing? So it will automatically execute whenever you have created a object. Understand? Next thing, so you can able to pass arguments inside the constructor. Okay. So the constructor can have with arguments or without arguments. So if you need means you can able to pass the arguments, otherwise leave it. No need to pass the arguments. Okay. So this method is mainly used to initialize the variables in the class. So in the class you have defined lot of variables. So this constructor is mainly used to initialize the variables. That means assign the variables. Understand? So what are things you have studied in constructor? Constructor is a special function. So it will, so when it will execute, automatically it will execute whenever you have created a object for the class. Okay. So a special function you are going to use in the constructor. What's the special function? Init. Okay. The constructor always begins and ends with double underscore. Okay. So the working of this function is similar to the normal function, but what's the thing? So it will execute automatically whenever you have created a object for the class. And also in the constructor also you can able to pass any arguments. So you can able to give with arguments or without arguments. That's as per your wish. Understand? So listen carefully. This is the general syntax for the creation of constructor. This is the general syntax for the creation of constructor. Okay. So what's the general format means? So already you have studied constructor is just like a normal function. So a function always starts with the keyword. Function always starts with the keyword def, isn't it? So the function def, then what's the special function name? Init, isn't it? So this init will start with, begins with double underscore and ends with double underscore. Understand? So that the init will begins with double underscore as well as ends with double underscore. Okay. So see, before the init also underscore is there, after the init also underscore is there. So inside this constructor, so we can identify this is a constructor function. So inside the function you have given arguments. The A or GS represents arguments. Okay. So if you are not giving any arguments also, it will consider one argument called self. Yesterday itself I have said, yesterday last class you have studied, no? So arguments, if you are not giving any arguments means also it will consider as a one argument called self. Understand? Then inside that you can give lot of statements. Understand? Then we can see one example program for the constructor. See. So what's the first step? First you are going to define a class. What's the general format for defining class? Class starts with a keyword, class, then class name. Okay. So what's the class name here? What's the class name? Sample. Okay. What's the class name? Sample. Okay. So sample then colon. Then so class you have defined. Next you are going to create a constructor function. So what's the general format for creation of constructor? So constructor always starts with the keyword def, then space, double underscore init, then double underscore. So inside that you can give arguments. Okay. What's the first argument? If you are not giving any arguments means also it will consider as a first argument as a self. So you have passed one argument. What's the name of the argument here? What's the name of the argument you have passed? Num. Okay, what's the name of the argument you have passed here? Num. Understand? So totally how many arguments are there inside the function? 2. What are they? Self, comma, num. Okay. By seeing the program itself you can identify this is the constructor. Isn't it? Why? Because the keyword init is there. So inside the function if init starts with double score and double underscore and ends with double underscore means you should know that's a constructor. Understand now? So inside the constructor, you have given one print statement. Okay, inside the print statement, you are giving a constructor of class sample. Understand? Next, listen carefully. Inside the constructor, you have passed two arguments. Isn't it? What's the first argument? Self. What's the second argument? Num. So you are going to assign the, because whatever input you are giving, the inputs are given in the variable num. So you are assigning the variable num. What the value of num is assigned to the variable self. Understand what's the meaning means? Self dot num equal to num. Whatever number you are entering here, the same value is assigned to self also. Understand? So you are giving self dot num equal to num. Inside the constructor, you should define this like. Okay. Next you need to print the value of num. So the value is you have where the value is stored in num. Okay. So already you have studied in constructor. When the constructor will execute immediately whenever the object of the class is created. So you should create the object for the class. Understand? So what's the class name? What's the class name here? Sample. So you should create a object for the class sample. Okay. So what's the class? What's the object you are using here? Yes. Yes equal to what's the class name? Sample of. So listen. So inside the constructor, how many arguments are there? Totally 2. But whether we will pass any values for the variable self? No. Always we should pass the values for the argument you are mentioning. No need to pass any variable. No need to pass any values for the variable self. Already you have defined self dot whatever value you are giving to num, that is automatically assigned to self also. So you should pass the value for num. So listen, S equal to sample of what you are giving value for num. So what's the value of num now? 10. Understand? Now you run the program. What output you will get? First is a constructor of a class sample. Then you are entering the value. So what value you have entered? Num. So the value of num is already you have given the value of num is 10. That you will get as the output. So immediately, after this line you have created object. Immediately if the line is seen, the constructor is automatically executed and the value inside the constructor will display as the output. Understand? Understand this is the concept of constructor. Listen, see this is the next program. So see the program. Program to illustrate class variable to keep count of number of objects of created. So in this program you are going to enter. So you are going to give 3 or 4 numbers. Okay, you are going to create. So you are going to create a class. Inside the class you are going to pass some number of objects. Okay, next you are going to count how many number of objects. You are going to pass values for each object. Then you are going to create some number of objects. Okay, then you are going to count how many number of objects you have created inside the class. Understand what's the program? You are going to create a class. Inside the class, you have created some number of variables. Okay. So in that variables, you are passing some values. So you are going to count how many number of variables you have created inside the class. Understand? Listen. So using constructor, you are going to create. So first, what's the first step? So first step is say you should define a class. Class starts with the keyword class, then class name colon. So inside you have created one variable. What's the thing? A variable defined inside the class is called which variable? Class variable. So what's the class variable here? Num. Okay, what's the class variable? Num. So num is defined inside the class. Initially you are assigning the value of num equal to 0. Okay, initially you are assigning the value of num equal to 0. Okay, then inside that, after that you are going to define a constructor function. Okay, you are going to define a constructor function. Listen. So, what's the general format for creation of constructor? Constructor means starts with the def, then double underscore init, double underscore inside arguments. Okay. So, what's the first argument? Self. Already you have studied. First argument is a self. Then next you are going to give one variable, one argument called variable var. Understand? Next you are going to give another one argument called var, variable. Okay. Next step, listen. Next, so initially you are given the count of a number is 0. But in a program they ask each time, so you should count the number of objects created. isn't it? So initially the num value is 0. So each time whenever the value will get incremented, so that time you should count with 1. For example, first value is 0, next count is 1, next count is 2. So each time the value will get increment with 1. So why we have given sample.num means, listen. So this variable is called which variable? Class variable. So this variable belongs to which class? Sample. So you are calling the variable num inside the class sample. So understand? So listen, sample.num. What's the meaning? So you are calling the variable num inside the class sample. Sample.num plus equal to 1. What's the meaning? So each time the count will get incremented with 1. Understand? Next, listen. So if the argument self comma any one argument is there means you should assign that argument with the variable self. So whatever value you are passing in this variable, that is automatically assigned to the variable self. So self dot variable equal to what thing? Variable. That already was studied in the last program. Next, so inside that you are giving print statement, the object of value is variable. Okay, the object of values, that means for you have entered some objects. So that value is stored in which variable? var. So in a program they ask to find, you should create some number of objects as well as you should count the number of objects. So first one is the value of the object you have given in the variable var. Next thing, you should count the object, isn't it? So the count of the object created is, already you have given initially the count is 0. So where the count is there? Num. So sample.num. Understand? So here only you are going to pass the value. So here, so you should call sample.num. Understand? So inside the constructor you are giving each time, because in the program they asked to count. So each time the count needs to get increment, isn't it? So the value you are calling the variable num. For count you are giving the variable num. So sample.num plus equal to 1. That means each time the value will get increment with 1. Okay. Next you are assigning the whatever value you are giving for var, that is assigned to the variable self. Okay. Next, inside the print statement you are giving, the object value is what? Whatever you have entered in the object value, that is belongs to variable. Next, the count. In the program they asked to count. The count is given sample.num. Understand? Listen. Next what's the step? You should create objects. Any number of objects you can able to create. But in your question, in this program they have created 3 objects. What are the objects? S1, S2 and S3. Okay. So what are the objects? S1, S2 and S3. So you know immediately if you create a objects, automatically the constructor will execute. So what's the form of a creation object? Object equal to class name. What's the class name? Sample. So inside this constructor, immediately the object is created means automatically the constructor will execute, isn't it? So inside the constructor you should pass the value for the var. So for that first you have passed the value 15. So the object value is 15 first. So the count of the object created is, first time the object created is 1. Second you are creating S2 sample of 35. So listen, now the value of variable is what? 35. So object value is 35. Count of object is created. Already count is 1. So next time plus 1. So the count will get incremented. The answer you are getting as a 2. Next again you have created another one object is 3. So next sample of 45. So here the class name sample of you are passing the value of variable is 45. So the object value is 45. So the already count is 2. So plus 1. 2 plus 1 the count value. So the count of object created is 3. And see the output. What output you are getting? First you will get, understand. So you have created 3 objects and also you are passing the values for this object. First thing is 15, second one is 35, third one is 45. So first all the values are passing in the variable var. Understand? So first value is 15. So sample of 15. So the object value is, first value is 15. Then the count of object created. What's the first count? You have given 1. Next time object value is you have given 35. So object value is 35. What's the next count? Count of object created is already plus 1. So each time it needs to get incremented. So 1 plus 1 the object created is 2. Next time. So third one is the var. The value of var is 45. So the object value is 45. Then the count of object created is already 2 is there. So 2 plus 1 the count is 3. Understand the program? So this is the concept. So you have in the output you have displayed the object value. So 3 objects you have displayed as well as the count of the objects also displayed. Understand? Yes. So So next thing is program to illustrate our del method. Okay. So next the same program you are going to write the program for the del method. Okay, understand? Listen. So next one you are going to study about a destructor. Okay, already you have studied about constructors, isn't it? So now you are going to study about destructor. Okay, so destructor is just opposite to the constructor. Okay, so destructor is just opposite to the constructor. Okay, so destructor is also one special type of function. So what's the thing means, listen, constructor will execute if object is created for the class, immediately the constructor will execute. But destructor, whenever you have created an object, immediately it will exit from the scope. That's the use of destructor. Understand? So constructor, whenever you have created an object, automatically it will get executed. But destructor, whenever you have created an object, it will exit from the loop. Understand? So it is just opposite to the constructor. So constructor you have used one special function called underscore init of, isn't it? Likewise, destructor you are using one special function called del of. Okay. So this is an important one more question. Constructor, which method is used for constructor? Underscore init of. Just like destructor, underscore del of function is used as a method. Which method is used as a destructor? Del of. Okay. So in a program, if you find the method del of means you should know that is a destructor. Understand? Constructor and destructors are very, very important question. 2 mark questions sometimes they will ask, 3 marks, sometimes 5 mark. Okay. So what's the difference between constructor and destructor? So destructor is also a special type of function. So destructor will get executed whenever you have created an object, it will exit from the loop. But constructor, it will automatically executed when the object is created. So what's the function you have created for constructor? Special function called init of, underscore init of, destructor underscore del of. Understand? So mostly they will ask differentiation also. So you should differentiate and write. Understand? So this is the program for illustration of a del of method. Okay, listen carefully. The same program only. So same program, already you have studied, same program. Class sample inside the same program. So for in that program you have defined only this constructor alone, isn't it? But here you have defined destructor. Okay. So which one is the constructor and which is the destructor here? So this is the constructor, isn't it? Why the keyword? The function called init is there. Underscore init. But here see underscore del of. So inside only one argument called self. Automatically assigned argument self. So here you are giving sample.num minus equal to 1. Okay. Minus equal to 1. Okay. Next inside this destructor you are giving object with value percentage exit from the scope. That means listen, same program. So you are running the program. So what output you have get at the last program, same output you will get. But if the program reaches here, automatically this program will exit. So already you have studied in destructor. So whenever an object is created, this destructor will exit from the scope. So this destructor part won't get executed. Understand? That's the difference between constructor and destructor. Constructor means whenever object is created, immediately the program will execute and it will use the output. But destructor, so immediately if the object is created, it will exit from the loop. Understand? That's the difference between constructor and destructor. Listen, next one is public and private data members. Okay, public and private data members. Okay, this also already was studied in the chapter 3 in scope. Same thing only. Global scope, local scope, enclosed scope, you have studied, same thing only. Okay, so listen. So if you have defined some variable inside the class, you are defined. So what's the thing? Variable defined inside the class we are calling as in which variable? Class variable, isn't it? So if you have defined some variable inside the class, that variable is public by default. What do you mean by public? So you can able to access the variable anywhere inside the program. Okay, so you can able to access the variable anywhere inside the program. That's the meaning of public. So once you have created a variable inside the class, so initially the variable is a public. Okay, so any variable if you are going to access means how you should access? using dot operator. Very, very important. One more question. So variables can be accessed anywhere in the program using which operator? Dot operator. And also, listen, how you can able to identify this variable is a private mean. Private variable always will prefixed with double underscore. Okay, so you have created one variable. If that variable is private means you have prefixed the variable with double underscore. But public variable no need to prefix with underscore. But what do you mean by prefix? Before the variable you should give double underscore. But if the variable is private means, so you should prefix with double underscore at the beginning. What's the meaning of private? Private means the variable can be accessed only within the class. If you have defined some variable inside the class, so the variable is prefixed with underscore, that variable is only you can access inside the class. Outside the class, if you access the variable means it will throw error. Understand? So what are things? What's the difference between public and private? So once you have defined the variable inside the class means it is public by default. So public variable you can able to access anywhere inside the program. So if you need to access the variable means you should use dot operator to access. Okay. So and also if your variable is private means you should prefix the variable with double underscore. So that variable can be accessed only inside the class. Understand? So see this example. So this example, if you see this example means you can understand. So first you have created one class. What's the form of a creation of class? Class starts with the keyword class. What's the class name? Sample. Okay. So what is this one? Def init of constructor. So inside the class you have defined constructor. So def, the constructor general syntax is starts with def keyword then underscore init of. So first argument automatically it will give self. So how many arguments you have passed or how many variables you have passed is inside the constructor? 2. What are they? N1, N2. Listen carefully. Now you are going to identify which is the public variable and which is the private variable. Okay. So how many variables you have passed? 2. What are they? N1 and N2. So listen carefully. So I am going to assign the value. So if the inside the argument if you are giving self means automatically the values whatever values you are giving for the another values that will automatically assign to the variable self. So first you are going to assign the value n1 to the self. So self dot n1 equal to n1. Similarly next self dot listen underscore n2 equal to n2. What's the meaning? What's the meaning underscore? If a variable prefixed with underscore means that variable is called which variable? Private variable. So which is the private variable here? N2. Which is the public variable here? N1. Because the variable is prefixed with underscore, we can say this is the private variable. What's the meaning means? This variable can able to access only inside this constructor. So outside the class, you can't able to access the variable. So if you call this variable outside the class means you will get the error message. But the variable n1 you can able to access anywhere inside the program. But n2 you can able to access only inside this function alone. Understand? Inside the class only you can able to access. Outside the class if you call the variable means you will get a error. Understand? So listen. Next, if you are going to write one function for displaying the variables. So the function always starts with the keyword def. So what's the function name? Display of. So initially one argument they are giving self. Next, you are giving print class variable 1. First variable you are printing. So where is the first variable? N1 equal to self dot N1. So you should call the first variable self dot N1. Next, class variable 2. Second variable self dot N2. Okay, self dot N2. Listen. Next what's the step? Function you have defined. Next you are going to create object for the class. So what object you have created? Yes. S equal to, listen, class name sample of. Then how many variables you should pass? 2 variables. Why? 2 variables are there. So how many values you should pass? 2 values. So you are going to pass 2 values. What are they? 12, 14. Next, this step over. Next you should call the function with the object. So what's the object? Yes. So s dot display of. You should call the function with the object creator. So s dot display of. So next you are giving the print statement. Print value 1 equal to what the value? With this object you should call. So S1, the S dot N1. Likewise S dot N2. So whatever object you have created, with that object you should call what are the things you have defined inside the class. Okay. First you have called the function with the, so first you have passed the values for 2 variables N1 and N2. Next you have call the function. What's the function? Display. So s dot display of inside the value. Value 1 you are giving with the object, calling the object s dot n1, next s dot n2. So listen. So just think and say what output you will get first. First, class variable 1. So what's the value you have given for n1? 12. Next, class variable 2. What's the value for n2 you are giving here? 14. Okay. Then next, inside the object, value 1 equal to what output you are giving? Same value. Already you have given the value 1. Listen, value 2 equal to whether you will get the value 2. I am asking in this program whether you will get the value 2. No, you will get error message. Why? So the variable n1 is public variable, you can able to access anywhere inside the program. But variable n2 is a private variable. The private variable prefixed with underscore. That means here, so the class will get over till this. So see, before this object creation, you are getting the output 14. But so you can able to access the variable only inside the class. This is outside the class. Outside the class, you are going to access the variable. Whether it is possible to access? No. So it will throw a error message. See. So only value 1 you are getting the value. Value 2 you are getting the error message. See, sample object has no attribute n2. So understand the difference between public variable and private variable? Understand? Okay. So today's class up to this portion enough. So what are things you have discussed today? Constructor as well as destructor. Please study now itself. You study after completion of this session. Very important programs. Okay. So from Friday onwards you have holiday, I think. So please utilize this holidays. Study. What is the homework for you means? So study this chapter. This chapter is very important chapter. Chapter 10. So you should study. Till now what are the things I got taught? Chapter 10. All the portions you should study. As well as exam also you have write well. Okay. So thank you students. Remaining I will continue for the next class. Thank you.